This is Joseph Phillips. This presentation is a brief overview of data modeling, which you'll need to know for your CBAP examination. What is data modeling? Data modeling is basically a representation of people or places or things or concepts such as hardware, software, data, and network. It's a way of visualizing these things to better understand the requirements and the solution scope. There are two types of data models you'll need to be topically familiar with for your exam. The first is an entity relationship model, or an ERD model. There are 3 points about the ERD model you need to know. First, it's a conceptual model of data, conceptual schema of a database, and you usually use an ERD when there's a relational database as part of the solution. Now, another data model you need to be familiar with is a class diagram. Now, class diagrams are used with object-oriented software development. It's a conceptual modeling of the application. It's how the application works and how the different objects and the components interact within that software. So you have ERDs and class diagram. Those are the two data models you need to be familiar with. Now, the ERD and class diagrams use some different components to help illustrate the parts of each model. So for example, if you were to illustrate a concept in an ERD model, you would have rectangles that have a unique ID associated with each rectangle. In a class diagram, you can use a square or a rectangle, but you can add additional properties besides the unique ID. Now, any of those unique properties or attributes in an ERD model, they go below the unique ID. Now, in a class diagram, it's outside of the box, and it's below the concept name. Now, the relationships between entities are pretty much the same, except in an ERD model, you just have a line between components, and each relationship is numbered, or it's a cardinal format. Now, in a class diagram, there's a line between components, but there's also multiplicity, which means you could have a number of relationships between components. Now, data models, logical data models and physical data models are also two concepts you need to be familiar with. Logical data models, they show concepts, attributes, and relationships like we just discussed. Physical data models, though, they show data storage and management and how data gets in and out and is moved between the different components.